Well, in New Orleans, a family feud has turned into an all-out court battle involving the city's richest family and two major sports franchises, the NFL Saints and the NBA Pelicans. It started when Tom Benson, owner of both teams, announced that when he dies, ownership will pass to his wife of 10 years, Gail.
Benson's daughter, Renee, and her two adult children, long assumed to be heirs to the empire, then filed a lawsuit seeking to have Benson declared mentally unfit. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman has been following the case. Rikki, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, the daughter and the grandchildren say that Mr. Benson has fallen under the influence of his third wife, Gail, that he believes Ronald Reagan is president and he's existing on a diet of candy, ice cream, soda, and red wine.
Well, if that's all there was, maybe we could look at something that's real about going forward on the part of the daughter and the two adult grandchildren to say dad and granddad is mentally incompetent. That's some sling and arrow, boy. So what you really have here is what we call an interdiction hearing. And it's about examining him, not only by psychiatric examinations, but it also takes evidence. The bar is so high, Anthony, to have someone declared mentally incompetent. He is 87 years old. You're entitled when you're 87 years old to have some kinds of lapses in memories, to have a peculiar diet, to even not know who the president is. But can you manage your affairs? Do you know who your children are, who your wife is? Are you able to make decisions that are rationally based about your business?
I also thought it was interesting that he said he's basically, there's been years of disappointment dealing with his family, attempting to let them run some of the companies. He's tired of trying to groom people that he doesn't see as being legitimate heirs to his empire. How much does what he says come into play in all of this?
Well, I think a lot of what he says comes into play in this, as long as he can also show that he is of sound mind, he's oriented to time, space, and manner, and he has a right to dispose of his property, including the glorious New Orleans Saints and the Pelicans, as he sees fit. He has said that his grandchildren and his daughter seem entitled. They feel entitled. He is a self-made man. He is worth $1.9 billion. There are only 350 people in the U.S. who are worth more than he is. And his great jewel of the crown is the New Orleans Saints. So when you look at the kids, and I conclude the grandchildren there, and we're talking about adults, they're going after the third wife. Now, look, they've been married 10 years. She is in her late 60s. This is not some young chippy, as it were.
So if this hinges on the psychiatric evaluation, which had to be completed yesterday,
correct?
Are we going to find out, is the public going to find out what the doctor said?
Well, I think that the psychiatric reports, of course, would be filed under seal. They would be filed with the court. The only thing we may find out one day is if it goes to a hearing, in which case the psychiatrist would testify, one for the defense, one for the plaintiff, one independent, but so would all these other people. And when you have Roger Goodell, who has had conversations with Tom Benson, the owner of the Saints, and thinks Tom Benson seems just fine, it doesn't matter to me that he's having Coke and ice cream.
When you talk about this kind of money, I mean, this is nothing new. We've seen it from the Cardinals, the Colts, the Clippers. I'm just curious, are you surprised?
No, I am not surprised, because this is what happens. Whether you have a little bit of money or you have a lot of money, particularly in the sports world, and we certainly saw it recently with Donald Sterling, what you have are children from one marriage who want control of a team, and they don't want the wife to have it. It's not only about the money, it's about the team. And before I leave you, lest we feel bad, they're getting $555 million.
Everyone sort of wins in this one. Rikki Klieman, thank you so much.
Thanks, Rikki.